Hey, what's up, everyone? My name is Kush Wave. Welcome to Handcuff Status Podcast. On today's episode, we will be discussing youth empowerment, what it means, and the various forms of injustice in our criminal justice system. We have an exclusive interview with Daron Thompson, who is currently incarcerated in a maximum penitentiary in Canada. He will be sharing his experience and story with us. Let's get right into it. Before we get into the questions, could you please give us a brief history of yourself?
My whole life, I grew up in Jane and Finch. Had an older sister, had a younger brother, but they're both dead. They both died.
Oh, my condolences, brother.
Yeah, really and truly was. So I grew up in Jane and Finch, but hard life like everybody else, trying to pursue music because that was like an outlet for all of us, really and truly, music and basketball. So I chose music.
Okay.
And then the streets just started to swallow me. Started coming to jail and shit.
That's when you start to get caught up.
Yeah, I started to get caught up in the streets like since I was in elementary. I've been getting caught up in the streets.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, been getting caught up in the streets since elementary, since I was going to Fairgrove.
Wow. Young man.
So, yeah, well, a child at that, but
for real. Yeah, for real.
Yeah, I thought we were young men at those times, but yeah, at the end of the day, you're just playing where you're playing the hand you're dealt, right?
Exactly. It's hard. It's hard when you don't have enough options, right?
Well, for sure, yo. Exactly. It's very hard when you don't have enough options. And then at the end of the day, yo, sometimes when you don't have enough options, you start trying to create your own options, start trying to make options.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Exactly. You try to make something out of nothing, but a lot of times they put stumbling blocks in front of us, right? So we fall into that trap. So it's hard when you're a young man or a young child and you have to make decisions like that. So realistically, society has to take their blame too, you know? For the first question I want to ask you, what is youth empowerment to you?
So youth empowerment to me means giving young people the tools, truth, and confidence to take control of their own future before the streets or the systems tries to take it from them. You know? Wow. It's not just about speeches or programs. It's about showing them real options, real purposes, and real power within themselves. You know?
Yes, I agree with that. Definitely.
Yeah, so it means teaching them how to think, not just what to think. Letting them know their past doesn't define them. Their environment doesn't limit them, you know? And their pain. And their pain can't fuel their greatness. Empowerment is planting the seed of belief.
Yes. Yes. Teaching them how to think. I like that. Critical thinking is something that we're not doing enough. We're not thinking deeply about the decisions we're gonna make before we make them.
Which is right. That's what I'm saying. Like as a young kid, it's like you could be there. Like the guidance is different, you know. And it's like you're getting guidance and probably advice from people that they don't even mean to really give you, because there's some of the people that I grew up with, a lot of them are like, I look at them like older bros and stuff, you know, so they don't even probably mean to lead you the wrong way, because they were getting led the wrong way.
Exactly.
Like,
exactly.
So it's kind of like, it becomes the blind lead the blind, you feel me? And then you have a few people that have or try to have a voice, but then again, they ain't looking cool and all that, then your voice ain't even gonna be heard. Really, that shit getting shadowed straight up.
Yeah, it's true. If they don't fit the role or look the part, nobody really wants to listen to them, even if they're saying all the right things.
No, absolutely. Ain't nobody gonna want to listen to them straight up, yo. Like that's just my opinion for real. That's like yo, you put on 50 cents back in the days, Get Rich or Die Trying. You had the whole place, go to your door, everybody's lined up to get the CD, just to get the little DVD
mm-hmm.
that came with it. But then if you went to say like Roots dropped the album, they don't line up in there.
You're right. No, you're
They
right.
don't
You're
line up
right.
in that. So
You're right.
that's just the real. You feel me? So I'm just. At the end of the day, we had good people. Like we had some people. We had this lady Anne Marie, rest in peace. She was very good. She was a good lady. She taught us a lot of. She taught us a lot of empowerment. She taught us a lot of Black history. Her and this guy Kofi still.
So growing up,
I'll always give them their flowers.
so growing up, would you say Anne Marie and Kofi were good role models in your life?
Yeah, absolutely. Anne Marie and Kofi, they're role models in the whole hood's life. Like
Oh
real shit.
wow.
Like they're role models, especially Anne Marie. Anne Marie was real. She was a real soldier. She was a real revolutionary. You know what I mean? So she used to teach us a lot about Black history and Black, you know what I mean, and shit like that. But still, like a lot of times her words will fall on deaf ears because she was like on some Erica Badu type shit, like some universe.
Okay, okay. She was already fully tapped in, and you guys were still disconnected.
Yeah, kind of. Cause we're young, like we're like teenagers and shit. Like
Exactly, exactly,
so,
exactly.
we're like teenagers. So when it was the shit they're trying to teach us, we're taking it in still because they used to make our whole recreation center. There's a whole bunch of Black history stuff used to be in that. They used to flip that whole shit. But now I remember a lot of it. You know what I mean? Like I remember, like now I remember a lot of that shit. So now, like my stepdaughter, I'll teach her a lot of that shit and teach her
Okay.
like how I like I'll teach her what to expect from like a man and shit. You know what I mean? Like
And that's
stuff like
good.
that.
That's good because they need to know that because remember they move on a lot of emotions, right? So it's hard for them to really differentiate when somebody actually loves them. You know what I mean? I want to ask you, growing up, were there any other role models in your community other than um, Anne Marie and Kofi?
Yeah, there was a few still, but to keep it 100, you growing up, like I wasn't really. I was in the hood, but I wasn't really in the hood like that. Like I was in the hood, but I used to be like all over the place type shit.
Okay,
So
okay. So when did you first get involved in the street life, and what drew you to it?
I first got involved in the street life probably like 7 years old. Like I wouldn't to answer that. It's like
It's like you were born in it.
I was born in that shit. Like to
Oh
say
my
what
goodness.
got me involved in that. It's like I can't even say what got me involved in that because the first time I seen when the homies die, I was like 11 years old, 12 years old, or some shit like that. But I had fucking police bringing me home 7 years old. So it's like
Yeah, you were already
to
in
say like
contact. You were already in contact.
that shit. Yeah, we're already in it, just marinating basically. You feel what I'm saying? To go in the oven type shit. Like
Damn,
we're
man.
already just niggas are just marinating. But I was in that shit from like 7 years old. Like real shit. I have a cut on my thumb with me and my homie. We were kids. We went to go steal nano babies. I was like
I remember
8 or
nanos.
7.
I remember
Went to
that.
Yorkdale, and I cut my finger, and then the police brought me home and shit. So we were doing wild shit since babies, like
Damn.
so, you know what I mean? So it wasn't like influence like got us. Like for instance, like not to make this sound away, right?
Of course.
So back then, when I was like I remember 9 years old, 8 years old, we're listening to Mobb Deep and shit. Like going to school, middle school, we're listening to 3 6 Mafia, Project Pat.
Yeah.
So when we're listening to that type of influence, our mind stays on a different level.
Yeah,
You
it
know what
is.
I'm saying?
It is.
Now you have a generation that's probably listening to Juice World and shit, talking about doing drugs. So these little niggas are ready to do drugs and lean and all that shit. But back then, we were listening to Styles P where you're talking about the smoking diesel and shit like that.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
doing dumb shit, you have to hide in the closet to do dumb shit. So you couldn't do Molly back in the days like that.
No way.
Fuck, yo, it's just like a culture shock. But everybody's like The Wire, yo. Everybody just shit changes. gonna change. Look at how life is now. Like, look how robots is taking care of customers. Like,
No, for real. So what would you say are the biggest barriers young men face today? You think music, like you were naming music, you think
hold on,
music
but
is
one
one of
second
them?
though. Let me go back to this. 1 second though. 1 second.
All right.
Cause yo, besides, bro, there was a role model, Devil Jet. Dead too. Rest in peace, Devil Jet. That nigga was a good nigga to me, my homie Deadice, and my homie Thoroughbred. That nigga brought us, taught me how to make beats. We used to go to Oslington and Bloor. Deadice did his mixtape when he was 13.
Oh, are you
We
talking
taught
about the
us.
Somalian hunger?
Yeah, Somali and Hunger.
I remember that when I was a
That
kid.
nigga, I made like 3 beats on that nigga's mixtape, and I was dead as 13. I was 14. Was there the whole time when he was doing that shit.
Wow.
And that nigga Double J, that nigga brought us to. As kids used to drag me home, give me bus tokens and shit, cause the hood was fucked up. So he used to be like, "Yo, you guys come out here." And a lot of people didn't know that we used to take the bus all the way to Jane Station, take the bus and just get there. I used to sleep at this nigga's house. And I'm in high school, like grade 9, grade 8, and then yeah, that nigga was a good nigga. So no matter what, I'm always big him up. And I wish he was here, you know. But
R.I.P.
yeah. But what you say your next question then?
Oh, the next question was, what would you say are the biggest barriers young black men face today?
Yeah, one of the biggest barriers black man face today, young black man face today, is being born into the system.
Yeah, the
That's
system
already set up to limit them.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Broken homes, over policing. I said they don't have that shit out there no more. But I've been in jail for 5 years, so you know. And that's I'll say because from early on, you know, we're judged, we're stereotyped, and we're expected to fail. And that's just the real.
They want us to fail.
Another barrier is a lack of guidance too. A lot of these young youth, you know, a lot of these young brothers don't feel like they have real mentors or role models showing them how to move with power, purpose, and peace.
Yes.
And that's real shit. Yo.
That's real. That's real.
Trauma, emotional suppression, and yeah, there's a lot of other things though.
Yeah, I feel like
society that criminalizes our pain.
Yeah. I feel like they've made our pain look so cool that we gravitate to it without even understanding that it's a trap. Like there's brothers that come from good families that have mothers and fathers that love them, and they aspire to be like hood niggas because it looks cool, or it's like how their favorite rapper looks, like how you were talking earlier about the rapping and how back in the day, you know, we're listening to, you know, 50 Cent and Jeezy and those guys, and nowadays it's more of like Juice World, more drug fueled music. You couldn't even play that stuff in the house when we were younger.
Nah, real shit. You couldn't even do that.
You couldn't even play that.
Because this shit wouldn't even make sense anyway.
Yeah.
Niggas is out here experimenting, like, it's just, I'm gonna keep it real, it's just sad, yo, like, yo, I feel like, yo, a lot of people in the community is selfish to themselves. They don't want to see, like, a lot of people have their own benefits, like, they don't really want to uplift their own community, and that's the sad part, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people is doing this shit for more than clout. The community, like, we need to more come together as one and keep it real with the youth and shit. Like, instead of, like, for instance, a person, right? Like, say, for instance, like, let me keep it real like this. Like, someone could be trying to lead the pack, right?
Yes.
Trying to lead the pack. And then, you have Driftwood, you have connections where I'm from, right? You have North Side, South Side. Forever been beefing, whatever the case may be, right?
Yes.
But you have one homie. Say you have one homie that'll sit there and be like, yo, listen, you know that, yo, this shit doesn't have nothing to do with you kids or whatever the case may be, and it is what it is, like try to break it. But then you have another nigga that literally probably has an individual problem, doesn't have a fucking problem with the whole neighborhood, but he has an individual problem. But because he can't handle his individual problem, the whole fucking neighborhood has to die for that shit. Mind you, that same nigga probably hasn't even been in the hood for fucking 10, 15 years, hasn't even been around niggas, but he's out there probably doing the most.
And he drags everybody into it.
To the doorstep. Nobody, there's no accountability. Nobody holds nobody accountable. Instead, it's like shit happen, niggas die. Some people get fucking died. They don't even know what they're dying for. Walking to go get a soup or some shit, get their shit knocked off, and then it straight goes back and forth on some crazy shit, but nobody's held accountable, even the nigga that started the shit.
So do you think that the communities or the hood, the projects, whatever they want to call it, do you think that these people have to hold these guys accountable?
Of course, we have to hold each other accountable. The fuck, we have to hold each other accountable because when it's all said and done, let's be real here. Like, you could grow up with people. Niggas always say the sandbox and all that. We're living in the sandbox, right?
Yeah.
All right, cool. I'm not gonna say situation with my sister or my brother, whatever. That never happened because of hood, whatever the case may be. But what about the situation that did happen because some niggas probably came back and did shit? There's niggas right now that's dying right now, literally. And their mom, for instance, has nothing to do with the hood shit. She just dumped that hat to get extra house and whatever. She's just trying to work her job, trying to leave. All right, cool now. This little nigga is going to the recreation center, going to bunks and man. Then he's doing his thing. She's not home. She has to work. She wants to get a house so bad. All these years he's growing up. Now you have the next nigga that's a little older than him causing bare fuck. He's doing the most. And all of a sudden he's coming home from the rec, whatever. He gets knocked the fuck right off. Boom. Right off the map.
Yeah.
His mom's all crying and shit. And she's really blaming the hood because she's like, yo, you niggas supposed to protect this little nigga, right? But he had nothing to do with nothing. Now fucking the little nigga needs to get buried. I'll keep it so real with you. 9 times out of 10, ain't no one helping the mom go bury the son.
No.
Ain't no one helping the mom go buy that hole to put the homie in. Ain't nobody doing that. Yeah, the man will come probably say, hey, yo, pop a bottle for that few days, but once that nigga's gone in that hole, you only remembered 2 times is your death date and your birthday, and if there's the real few ones that'll come here and there and clean up your shit.
It's so true.
So after the fact, now when your mom's there grieving and doing the most, and she's not even doing the most because she's trying to cope with some shit she would never think ever happened because all of our parents want to die before us.
Exactly.
So now ain't nobody visiting no man's moms on no regular. Mother's Day's coming up. I guarantee you, ain't half of these niggas that died niggas is gonna go visit their moms with any flowers. They're gonna visit their own mom.
Some of them don't even visit their own moms.
And that's that too. So when it's all said and done, niggas need to be held accountable then if that's the case. Because little niggas are getting knocked off, or niggas are getting knocked off, and some of these niggas that's getting knocked, not niggas, but some of these brothers that's getting knocked off don't even know why they're getting knocked off. Like, we need to start putting it like, yo, do you even know that? Do you even know this person? So you're just gonna go and just the first time you ever met this person, you're killing them. Makes sense out of that.
I agree with you, brother.
Ever met this person, you don't even know this guy.
You don't even know him.
Life, but because where he's from, we're gonna smoke him. I think we need to start changing the narrative on that. People, guys that's sitting, whether in prison, on road, and they're portraying to be the real, keep it 100. Like, this shit is, a lot of shit should have been on some, we should have been on some, at least some Black Panther shit by now. You feel what I'm saying? Like,
no, you're right.
Like, yeah, cut this out and put this up. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just being honest with you. We should have been on that.
I completely agree with you, brother. Like, I feel like it's overdue. I feel like I feel like I feel like our ancestors are rolling in their graves looking at what's going on right now, brother.
It's been rolling in their grave, and they're rolling in their grave because once again it goes back to influence, yo. The influence that we're portraying, we're projecting out there for the youngers and shit is fucking retarded.
Okay, so
Like,
then
I'm not gonna say like entertainment's entertainment, but and I'm not trying to draw away from what we're talking about, but just a quick thing, like that top five shit. Cool,
yeah.
he's an entertainer, he's repping for Toronto, which is blessed. But yo, my nigga, why would you go, regardless who Kanye West is, why would you go put on a swastika, fam? Like, what is that? Like, that's retarded. And at the same time, it's like, what if the test was to see if you're a real soldier? Like, would you sell out for this shit? Because, yeah, you're out there, but now you just sold all the, like, nigga, this nigga that really stood for this beat, and you really just boxed the whole nation in their face by doing that, both of them. That's just to show you. Now, imagine other people rolling on the boat. We're done.
We're done. Yeah, we're done.
We're done. We're done. Because
You're right.
I'm going with the ancestors, dog. I'm jumping off the boat in the sea.
Yeah. No, you're right.
Like, what? I ain't trying to get to America. I'm jumping in. Let the sharks grab me.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
No, you're absolutely right, and I like that. I like that viewpoint that you just came with, because the swastika symbolizes so much that destroyed our people. If people actually did the history, they would know. I want to ask you this then: like, how can the youths protect themselves from peer pressure, especially in neighborhoods where gang activity or violence is like a common thing?
It's kind of hard, dog, and the way how they could, damn, dog, because a lot of them, I would say, like, someone to talk to, and a lot of times they don't have someone to talk to like that. Like, they don't have someone to tell them that it's gonna be okay.
You're right.
They don't have someone to turn to stop them, to call and say, yo, I feel this right now. I'm having a panic attack or some shit right now. A lot of times in the hood, and I talk to the same time too, niggas, a lot of times they don't have role models, no father figures and shit like that.
Yeah, there's no outlet.
Exactly. There's no outlet at all, really. So it's like
they just have to go through the motions. It looks like a lot of times they just have to go through it.
Exactly. Like, for instance, like the hood is built on a lot of manipulation. A lot of people that will use that shit and they'll use it against the kid.
Yeah. They throw it back in his face.
Yeah, they'll use it against it. They'll use it against you, call you names, bully you and shit, and a bunch of crazy shit. You feel what I'm saying? They'll use it like, yeah, fam, like, they'll use it against you. Like, yo, when I was a kid, dog, I wasn't even like this, I'm not even lying to you. I wasn't even like this. I never thought about coming to prison. I never thought about none of that shit. That wasn't even in my mind. I used to get wingworm a lot, dog. I used to fucking...
You're playing outside.
Getting my mom used to keep my ass getting wingworm and shit. I used to put on that yellow cream on my hat and all that shit. But, yo...
I like this. He's giving us the real. It's true.
Yeah, my bad, fam.
No, that's light, brother.
Like I was saying, yo, real quick, like, I'm just trying to hold you up too long. But yo, when I was a kid, right? Like, there was one time when I was talking shit to this idiot, talking shit to him, and yo, this guy fucking outed this cigarette in my face. I was like 7 years old. And he outed this cigarette in my face right by my nose.
Wow.
And there was like times where, yo, dog, like, niggas, there's a lot of punk off, yo, like a lot of punk off. There are different times where shit would just do, like, niggas do this weird shit. And then it just became a point where it's like, yo, bro, I just said, yo, fuck that. Yo, I ain't even holding this shit no more, dog. If that's the case, yo, I'm gonna run over shit at this point. So if anybody that really knows me and say like, yo, this guy, when he was a kid, yeah, yo, he was fucking wild and shit, but he wasn't. It was like more middle school, getting into middle school, high school, where it's like, yo, shit started getting yeah, shit started getting real, and then the peer pressure, like you started to want to prove even more. You know what I'm saying? Now you have nicknames and shit. Now we're living up to our nicknames and shit. And now, and then the peer pressure, the peer pressure becomes. The peer pressure doesn't even become peer pressure no more. That shit becomes part of your lifestyle type shit.
Yeah, you adopt it.
You adopt it, and then you adopt it, but then at first you adapt to that shit.
Yeah,
Same
yeah,
shit. I mean, same shit.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
after that, you just keep on going and going and going because you don't. That feeling's not there no more. Now it feels normal. Now it feels okay. Like people dying. Like a regular person someone get shot today and a regular person's going crazy crying. Someone that I know gets shot today, I ain't even crying like that. It's like, yo, fuck, like,
yeah.
damn, yo, that
You
happened.
become
You gotta
numb.
feel
You become numb to the
hurt. Yeah,
situations because
exactly.
you've seen it so much.
Exactly. When that
So
shit comes to your own doorstep, that even makes you even more numb. Cause like, I lost friends, yeah, but nigga, I lost my sister, I lost my brother, I lost my niece. Like, yo, like,
yeah,
those are Christmas dinners they'll never have a seat at that table again, only by spirit. So yeah,
yeah.
shit makes you real numb.
It makes you numb, brother. How important do you think like community support is to negate the kids from getting incarcerated?
That's just very, very important. That should be community support. Like I said, like we're kind of lacking a lot, but that shit's very important because at the end of the day, like I said, it goes back to mentor, it goes back to structure, it goes back to
Yes,
breaking
yes,
a cycle that we we say we want to break, right? But
yeah.
the problem is we say we want to break it, and we're not saying we need to break it. You see what I'm saying? So we're not manifesting the shit how we really should be manifesting.
We need to break it. I like that.
And then it goes back to accountability again.
You're right.
Because
You're right.
if you are trying to make it the need and not the want, then niggas are gonna have to hold accountable the people that's the cancer.
Yeah.
People that's diluting the water.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? We instead of us getting the spring water, we need to bring that shit back to alkaline type shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and that's just what it is. Like, we need to start showing the kids, like, yo, okay, y'all stop eating these type of burgers. Probably take CMOS, get back to our roots type shit, and stop getting blinded. But once again, nigga, if you have a bust on chain and you have a wooden you have a bust on chain. The bust on chain is gonna probably say, yo, don't even listen to this nigga. This nigga ain't saying shit. He doesn't have shit.
They wouldn't even know what the wooden ankh. They wouldn't even know what the wooden ankh is, brother.
Is exactly, and that's the truth. Like
Knowledge.
like even though I'm in prison, I look at shit and like my nephew. He's out there doing his thing. I graduated from school. You see what I'm saying? A lot of people wouldn't even think I graduated from school, but I graduated from school.
Congratulations, brother.
I talked to my nephews and my nieces, them. Yeah, I sold drugs and shit, and I did certain things. But I could still look at them and tell them, yo, listen, man, I own 52 fucking acres of land in Ghana right now. My background is Jamaican, but obviously that's where we're all from. But I own that shit. I have the deed for that shit. That's my shit at the end of the day. So
yep.
I'm putting the influence on them to show them, yo, nah, you guys don't have to go that way. You don't have to sell drugs and shit because there's legit shit. But then again, it comes with knowledge. It comes with surroundings. It comes with surroundings. The only way for you to clear that and pave that way is you need knowledge. You need to read a little bit more. You need to do certain things a little bit more to fuel that speech, because our life's a podium, right? Whatever we put out there, it's either they're gonna clap, it's either they're gonna boo. You know what I mean?
No, you're right. You're right.
It
So
comes down to that.
So
I look at it.
what's something about street life that young people often glorify or misunderstand?
It's the badness. It's the gangster shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's yo, for real, like, yo, that gangster shit ain't for everybody. I see young niggas come. I see some young boys come here, hang out there, they talk their tail. You didn't even think they had a tail. And now they're seeing the real. So it's like, I feel like the gangster shit, the media, social media.
Social media.
What? Yeah, I feel like it's like, yo, it plants a seed. Like, it plants a seed. Like, you see, like, how you have disclaimers. You see, if every friggin' post had a disclaimer saying, "Hey, man, well, this is just for entertainment purposes. This is not what is really real." Like,
Yeah.
you guys think. You see, if we had all disclaimers to change their minds, say, "Hey, man, this is really entertainment purposes."
Yeah.
And you do this dumb shit, you could really get some crazy ass time. Like,
yeah,
you could really go down the drain. Like, you could really not ever come back. You know what I mean?
You're right.
Like,
you're right. Then these guys would think twice about making certain decisions.
No, real shit. Because really and truly, let's be honest, yo, kids are fragile. Teenagers at that are fragile. They're teenagers more fragile than a kid in elementary, I'll say.
Yeah.
Now, that nigga's growing a pubic hairs. He wants to be the guy. He knows about. If he's in a certain community, you're talking about swag now, whatever the case may be. You feel what I'm saying? Like I said, I was starting to listen to Mobb Deep since elementary and shit.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, yo, it gets wicked, dog. It gets wicked because as they watch social media, TikTok, all of this shit, and their moms are not around and certain shit like that, yo, the seed's getting watered. And if you're being mindful, you have to be mindful of how you're watering that shit, especially even as a parent too, because a lot of things we're not seeing what the kids are doing in their phones and certain shit. But they're screen time and this shit, whatever, and that's a big water jug that's just watering the seed, and it's growing in their brain, and shaping them. You feel what I'm saying? And
yeah.
That tree's gonna either bear sweet fruit or that tree's gonna bear a bunch of bullshit. You feel what I'm saying?
I agree. I agree with that. So, if you had a group of young men in front of you right now, what's the first thing you would teach them?
One of the first things I'll teach them is accountability. Teach them accountability and teach them. The one first thing is accountability and really to hold their own. Like, yo, at the end of the day, hold yourself accountable for your actions at the end of the day. Because you can't say you love your friend, but you're bringing bullshit to his table. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Tell them I'll teach them accountability, judging too, and let them know, yo, not everybody's for this life. You have friends that just want to be your friend. You have a friend that just likes you for who you are.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't want to bust a gun.
Yeah.
You told him fuck off.
Yeah, because he doesn't want to put his life on the line. You don't want to be his friend. It's crazy.
Exactly. Because there's that niggas like, yo, me personally, I'm in the street, so it's like I have friends that is good people, and I know like, yo, you ain't about this, so you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna call you an Uber, dog. I'm gonna jump in my car. I might have a gun in my car, and I don't know who might want to do me something. But then again, I don't want that your blood on my hands or that on me, dog. Because at the end of the day, I live the life I live. I'm gonna be hold my shit accountable for whatever, but I'm not gonna put you in that war zone if you ain't for the war zone, B.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna block you and talk less to you because you're not in this shit. You're just a human, and that's what I'll teach them is accountability, judging, and understanding. Try to understand somebody for who they are as a human, because a lot of times we only understand the name brand shit, understand the brand names, understand certain shit, you know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I'm just being honest, like, yo, there's nothing wrong with telling a kid to go be a fucking police officer. There's nothing wrong with telling a kid to go be a judge. There's nothing wrong with telling a kid to go be a CEO. That's called an occupation.
I'm gonna be honest with you, brother. As black people, we need more black police officers. We need more black judges. We need more black CEOs. Maybe then we'll have a fairer chance when we're in front of these guys, you know?
Exactly. But instead, we'll have niggas there saying, yo, fuck the police. so we should be saying, yo, fuck the system.
The
We need to
system.
change the system.
Yes.
You feel what I'm saying? But when you're saying fuck the police and shit, then you're gonna have these black kids that don't want to be cops because people's already putting it, planting the seed. They're watering the seed again.
Exactly.
So when they go up, they don't want to be that. They want to just be a ball player. They just want to be that, this and that. When the other you gotta, you know how much long it takes to try to become a freaking basketball player? You could have went to school and became a real estate agent a few years, and you're in that. You're not making ball player money, but you're making stable money.
Yeah.
And that's another thing we gotta teach them is how to be stable and secure. You feel what I'm saying? And that's real. Because at the end of the day, like my stepdaughter, I'll tell her straight up, she's this girl's 18 years old. Coming 18 years old just now. And I tell her, like, I know you're gonna dibble and dabble with guys and certain things, but yo, you gotta be secure. You're fucking with nigga, that nigga gotta make sure you keep secure. You know what I'm saying? You can't be bringing weird shit to the doorstep and then all of a sudden you guys are homeless or certain shit.
Yeah.
So we gotta teach them how to be stable, and it goes for the boys too. Like, yo, you gotta secure yourself. You gotta secure yourself. You gotta understand what an asset is, what's a liability. You gotta understand even your friends, if that's an asset or a liability. Everything's an asset.
Very true. Very true.
We as black men gotta teach our daughters that and teach our sons that. And me personally, I'm not better than nobody. I'm just me. But I could sit there and say, like, yo, I'd be on the phone, my stepdaughter, and I'd be helping her with her homework. It doesn't stop just because where I'm at. Nah.
Yeah.
I help her with her homework. I do what I try to do for them. I try to talk to them. I try to pray with them. I try to do right by them where I'm at. Because, like I said, it doesn't stop. It doesn't stop.
That's a beautiful thing, brother. That's beautiful, man. That's how, and realistically, if the system had set it up a way where when individuals are incarcerated they could still do these things with their children, help them do their homework, help them focus on school, help them deal with their anxiety, or just like what you were saying earlier with hormones and puberty, like because when you're a teenager and you got to deal with puberty and you're trying to figure out who you are as an individual, and you got to learn, you got to pass school. It seems like an easy state of a young man or woman's life, but it's really one of the most difficult times of of our lives, right? So it's a beautiful thing that you're still finding ways and finding the time to like you're saying, right, water the plant, and in the right direction, though, in the right direction, and showing her certain life lessons that a lot of women don't really hear, because more time they're just told to find a man and to find a good man, but you're not taught what a good man is. So like how easy it is to look for that. I have another question I want to ask you, right? Because it seems like you're like it seems like you really are gravitating to the children. You know, how important do you think it is for our generation to focus on the younger generation, even though we're behind bars? Because a lot of us are behind bars, like a lot of us, right? And even that is stressful within itself for the individual who's going through like the time, right? It's not so easy for them to. I'm saying the individuals who are locked up, right?
Yeah.
Like I understand it's hard for them to focus on what's going on outside because of the hell that they're going through inside, right?
Yeah.
But how important do you feel that it is for them to still make a conscious effort to try and build the younger generation in the right direction?
I feel like it's not just important, it's our responsibility.
Wow.
Just because we're behind bars doesn't mean our voice, wisdom, or impact has to be locked up too. You feel what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like we've seen the consequences, we felt the pain. Yeah. And that gives us the power to guide the next generation so they don't end up here like we did.
In what ways did the criminal justice system fail you personally?
Fuck, I feel like the criminal justice system failed me by punishing me without ever trying to understand me.
Wow.
And treating my actions, you know what I mean? And treating my actions, but never the root causes behind them. Never the trauma, the environment I grew up in, the lack of support, or the pain I was carrying. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was thrown into the system that focused more on locking me away than helping me grow.
True.
That's how I feel, dog. There were no real tools for healing, no education that connected to my reality, no programs that prepared me for success. You know what I mean? Just time.
No rehabilitation, just time.
Yeah, just time. Time with no guidance, time with no vision, time with no purpose until I found my own. You know what I mean? The system is supposed to correct, but all it did was confine, right?
Oh my gosh, yes, brother, yes.
It wasn't, yeah, it's real shit, and it wasn't until I started educating myself, reflecting, writing books and shit, and doing certain things.
Building your mind.
Say that one more time?
I said, yeah, and building your mind.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. That's yo, brother. I'm so happy that you're still able to focus and put yourself in the right zone because when a lot of brothers get locked up, man, I mean, it breaks them in there, bro, and they become like what I forget what they call it, institutionalized, and it's really hard to talk to them and just bring them outside. It's just hard. It's just hard to even bring them to the mall or because they're not used to it anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How do you think systematic racism shows up in the courtrooms and in prison systems?
How do I think systematic racism?
Yeah.
Say that again.
How do you think systematic racism shows up in the courtrooms and in the prison system?
That's a thick one, man. But still, so yo, how do I think systematic racism shows up in the courtroom?
Mm-hmm.
It shows up through harsher sentences, biased judgments. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
And the lack of true representation. Real talk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When you walk in as a young black man, you're often seen as guilty before you even speak. You're judged by your skin, your neighborhood, your past, not by humanity or potential. You see what I'm saying? The playing field isn't level, dog.
You're right.
People from privileged backgrounds get chances while we get time. You know what I mean? In the prison system, it's even worse. We're over-policed, you know what I mean? Over-policed, over-incarcerated, and under-supported.
That's a formula for destruction.
Exactly. There's not enough mental health care, educational resources, or rehabilitation opportunities for people of color. We get labeled, warehoused, and forgotten.
Warehoused.
Discrimination in housing, jobs. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Did incarceration affect your mental health over time?
Oh, for sure. It will affect your mental health. I feel like incarceration affects everybody's mental health. If someone says it didn't, then they're strong. They're so strong. Salute to them. But I feel like the hand down affected my mental health. Because just think about it. You're placed in a place where you don't know the majority of the people. So you meet all these new people as new friends, but you're away from your support. You're away from your family.
Exactly.
You're away from people who love you.
Yeah, who really love you. So like what coping mechanisms have helped you maintain your mental strength then? Because you seem pretty intact, brother.
To be honest with you, I just pray a lot, yo.
Straight. You just pray to the Father.
Pray a lot. And I feel like probably reading helped me a lot, but I feel like trying to understand a lot. A lot of times I feel like I used to be ignorant to a lot of things, but if you believe in God, you shouldn't lose faith, right? Everything happens for a reason. So it's like just because shit's happening and shit's going sour, it could be happening for a reason, right? And I try to keep it like that. So
Exactly.
to be honest with you, to say coping mechanisms, fam, I don't even know what coping is. To be honest with you, like all I want in my life right now is peace. At the end of the day, I don't know what that is. I couldn't. Cope? I guess reading. Yeah, if you want to say that. But then again, I'm so numb to this shit that I don't even know what it is. I'm like, I've been to over 20 funerals, seen over 20 bodies in a freaking casket. Like, nigga, how do you cope? Like,
Yeah, no, for real, bro. Damn.
I'll be lying in the interview to say like, what coping mechanism? What is it? What is? Fuck, I wish I knew. I learned a few in here, reading and counting your breath and shit like that. But realistically, it's easier said than done.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I just try to look at shit now like, like I said, everything happens for a reason, and my purpose is to change shit. You know what I mean? I use the danger, I use all that shit as fuel. You feel what I'm saying to me now? Like, change your life, change this. For my mom, call my mom cries and shit. So I gotta stand firm. Like, so I'll be lying. I don't even know how to answer that question. You know what I mean?
No, brother, you did a great job answering it, brother. Trust me, you answered it without answering it. Real. How has being incarcerated shifted your perspective on life now? How did you look at life before you got locked up to how you look at it now?
It changed everything, dog. Like, being incarcerated changed everything about how I see life. You know what I mean? When you're locked in a cage, you start to realize how much you took for granted: freedom, time, relationships, even just fresh air. You know what I mean? It forces you to look in the mirror and ask yourself who you really are without noise, the ego, the distractions. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In real, I used to think survival was everything: money, reputation, being respected in the streets. But now I see that real power is peace, right? Real wealth is purpose, and real strength is being able to rebuild yourself from nothing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so prison taught me how to value time, how valuable time is, actually. Prison taught me how valuable time is. You know what I mean? How dangerous unhealed trauma can be, and how important it is to leave something behind that means something.
You said that you started to write books. What inspired you to write a book?
So my first pen bit, to be honest with you, my first pen bit, I was writing a rap song, and I went to my homie because he was next door to me. I was in Joyceville these times, and I went to my homie, and I used to write hooks. I used to write some sick hooks, and then I was writing a hook for my homie Amo. He's a lifer. Freedom's a must from good people. He's gonna touch road just now, God willing, and that good homie. You know what I mean?
Bless.
So Amo now, we did some tracks in Joyceville. We did some tracks, wrote the mic together, and I wrote a hook, and I went to my homie. I'm like, yo, take this in. So then he's reading, and he's like, yo, you're writing a book, and I'm like, nah. And he's like, yo, this could be a book, And then to be honest with you, that's where I just started writing that shit.
Okay, so Amo gave you a little inspiration.
No, it wasn't Amo. I was writing the hook for Amo.
Oh, you were writing the hook for Amo.
And then, because Amo was upstairs. I think Amo was on 3A these times. I was on, no, not 3A. He was on 3C. I was on 2C. So he was upstairs above me. And yeah, we're doing music and shit. You know what I mean? We're doing music and shit. And yeah, my homie told me to write a book, and he challenged me, and I started writing a book. And these times we're in Joyceville, and these times Joyceville had Southside, Finch, Southside niggas and Driftwood niggas were in the same jail.
Oh wow.
Niggas can't even lie about that one. People will probably lie and be like, yo, this is my nigga that don't lie, man. We're in the same jail. We're in Joyceville. We're in the same jail, literally, live.
And living comfortably, or
same basketball. Niggas play on the same ball team and shit.
Oh wow.
But then shit transpired and kind of thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Shit just went south, but that's what made me start to write books and shit. You know what I mean? I started to write books like that, and my first book I wrote, it was called Protect the Sheep, about two young boys, and they about two young boys growing up in the hood, and then just showing them it. It was about a book like telling kids like how the hood could snake you and shit. In the end, the homie gets snaked and just shows them the real of life. So I try to write. When I try to write shit, I try to put hidden messages in there.
Yeah.
Like I write gangster shit, urban shit, and all different types of shit. But the gangster urban shit I write, I feel like it's not really out there. It's not really out there like that. You feel me? Like the Protect the Sheep book and the Mama's Boy book, I feel like my shit was better than a lot of people's shit because I lived that shit.
Yeah, it was real messages is in there.
There's authors that write books and you ain't lived that shit, nigga. You were a bystander to that shit. You were a friend to that shit. It's not like Amo. Amo writes a book right now. His shit's gonna be real in depth because it's like, yo, like I lived this. Like literally, this is my life. Like you can't sugarcoat that. You feel what I'm saying?
You can't fake it.
You can't carbon copy that. You can't carbon copy me, nigga. I'm one of one, dog. You can't tell me. You can't copy that shit. Because if you know, you know. So at the end of the day, you're gonna put certain lingos and your mindset's gonna be different from some of these urban books. That's how I looked at it. And I started writing my own shit and stopped reading a lot of that shit because I started seeing this shit mediocre. This shit ain't real. This is some joke shit.
That's a beautiful thing though, brother. A lot of people don't. A lot of people want to write a book and never come around to doing it. You know, it's amazing that you're in jail and you're able to do that.
I try to send the message out a different way. You know what I'm saying? I try to send the message out a different way. And since I've been here, God is good. There's times I just sat there and I just talked to God and I just said, yo, dog, like, I didn't even talk to God on no humble. I talked to him like, yo, dog, yo, D, like, you're hearing me? Like, yeah, G, this is too much for me right now. Just take off so many boulders on my back. And there's times where, yo, shit happened. Like, I registered the business in here, my No Turning Back book club. And when I touch road, I'm going to push that. Register my No Turning Back foundation.
Nice.
And, yeah, so I have books on Amazon. Slowly but surely started happening. Some of my people started helping me pause their time and putting time into my shit. Because I can't do that.
It's love.
Here,
it's love, brother.
So at the end of the day, God is, like I said, God is good, and you can't. It doesn't stop where you're at. Everybody has a purpose. It's just finding your purpose and what you really in this shit for. You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And what's your purpose, dog? Like, and you gotta stand 10 toes on that shit. Whether you gotta cut off and sacrifice a few friends for the purpose of my book club, I'm gonna do that shit. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that because at the end of the day, that is gonna uplift even a higher height.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what's gonna have to happen. It's either you're gonna be a leader or you're gonna be a follower. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come out and I'm gonna walk. I'm like Kanye West. I'm gonna walk the opposite direction.
Mm-hmm.
Motherfuckers gonna think I'm crazy at first. They're gonna think, yo, this guy's crazy. Yo, this guy can get hit by a car. He's walking the opposite direction until you have the next person following, next person. Then your money that becomes a motherfucking marathon.
Mm-hmm.
And what?
Yeah.
None of us is crazy no more, right?
That's how it all starts, though. The one that steps out by himself is always crazy.
Exactly.
What advice do you have for young people who think the streets are their only option?
Remember, at the end of the day, shit, we have could be a lot. We could probably create a whole Bible on that. You know what I mean?
For real.
But it's like I get it. You know, the streets feel like the only way when you're broke, hungry, and watching people struggle. You know, and I used to think the same. But the truth is, the streets only lead to two things: a cell or a casket. That's just 100% like that. It's just real like that. There's no love. There's no love out there, dog. The streets don't love you like your mom or your dad loves you. Even if you don't have your dad, she don't love you like your mom loves you. You know what I mean?
True.
And it might feel fast, but it's not freedom. You feel me? It's not freedom, yo. You're just trading your future for survival, B. You know what I mean? So my advice: don't let temporary struggle make you choose a permanent loss. You know what I mean? If you got talent, purpose, and potential that the streets will never let you fully tap into. You know what I mean? Learn the game behind the game. Business, ownership, credit, investment. You know what I mean? Hustle legal. Build something that can't be taken from you. You know what I mean? And that's just the real, yo. The streets might make you feel like a boss for a moment, but knowledge, discipline, legacy make you a king for life.
And that's what it is, brother. That's the truth right there.
Real shit, my nigga. It's real facts, my nigga. And trust me, there's no power like waking up free, focused, and at peace. You know what I mean? You just gotta believe you're worth more and move like it. Stand on that shit and stand on it, and always remember that an opinion is just an opinion. Just because you have a friend and the nigga says, yo, you can shoot this way, and you shoot that way, just work on your form. Opinion's an opinion. Don't make that opinion rock your boat that you're putting holes in your own boat. That's just an opinion, B.
Yeah.
There's good opinion, there's bad opinion. If a homie says, hey, man, you should shoot it like that, you could put a little bit of sauce into it. You could put a little bit of paprika, a little bit of turmeric. But that doesn't mean you got it. That doesn't mean if you jerk seasoning, nigga, you keep to the jerk seasoning. You just tap into that.
Yeah.
And add a little bit more flavor to it. You see what I'm saying? You might have to go to get a little bit of spice from China or get a little spice from somewhere else. But that doesn't mean you change your recipe. Like, you make your recipe. You feel what I'm saying? You keep that shit a secret. You build your form and you go to your liking. Make yourself proud. Stop making the streets proud. Make yourself proud before you make the streets proud. Love yourself before you love the streets, man. Love yourself. And if you love yourself, you're gonna love who loves you at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
Do right by yourself at the end of the day. So that's the message I have for the young boys and even the young girls. Yo, love yourself, B. Love yourself. Stop trying to follow an image that ain't you. Be comfortable in your own skin. You don't need to alter shit. You don't need to follow the media. You see what I'm saying? And that's the real shit.
Yeah, be comfortable in your own skin.
In front of your screen. You know what I mean? Tell yourself, like, this is not real. Yeah, it's real to who's putting it out there, but it ain't, some of this shit ain't real for you. You ain't trying to do that shit. You're just trying to fit in. And you don't gotta fit in. Accept yourself. And if a motherfucker ain't accepting you, then clearly that nigga ain't rocking with you.
Exactly. So just press on.
Exactly. That's the problem with a lot of the youngins, B. Is acceptance. They want to be accepted. They want to be accepted, and you are accepted. You're accepted by your family, your uncles, your grandmas. You're accepted.
Yeah.
You're just looking for the wrong acceptance.
Yeah, you're looking for it in the wrong places.
So at the end of the day, my advice to the kids is explore, create.
Beautiful.
Grow, create, explore, go to places, go to seminars, go, if you like basketball, try go to basketball clubs and certain things. Try to do these things. You know what I mean? Try to meet new people that align with what you're doing, what you want to do.
Absolutely, brother. I agree with you 100%. 100%.
That's my thing, you know. Don't mind me, dog. Like, I'm not, nigga, I ain't even do interviews like that, to be honest with you. So I ain't even trying to be, I don't even know, I'm not trying to be perfect or some shit. So I'm just,
hey, you know, brother, like, you gave us you gave us all the sauce, man. Like, this is exactly what they need to hear, bro. Like, to be honest, you know what I mean? And the way that you delivered it, it's perfect, bro. It's perfect. Sometimes they need to hear it how they hear it all the time, you know? Can't sugarcoat it for them. So it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing, and I love how you're pushing the fact that they need to just be themselves, man. Just be comfortable with who you are and the stuff that you like. You don't have to gravitate to everybody else's, you know. And
real talk, man. It's fact, yo. And I feel like it's just them. Nobody wants to be a loner, yo. Nobody wants to be a loner.
Yeah.
To be honest, nobody wants to be a loner. But why I feel like, yo, for instance, you see, if my dad was around more, I wouldn't give a fuck about the acceptance.
True.
I wouldn't care about it. Like it burns me every day to know I can't even be out there for my son, because I know, like, to walk into school, I'll do that. I'll do that. I'll bring him to school, pick him up. I'll make sure I'm there. My nephew, them, I'll make sure I'm there, so they don't have to feel like, yo, they need to be accepted in any type of way, because they know, yo, uncle accepts me, uncle treats me like royalty at the end of the day. So I don't care about you guys. I'm gonna go chill my uncle.
Yeah, the love is over here. I already know where the love is. I'm gonna go to the love right now.
And it's like you have niggas out there that's not even with their kid's mom. So let's not use baby mom, but they're not with their kid's mom. But yo, dog, that doesn't mean that the kid has to be with the mom 5 days out the week, and you pick them up on the weekend, B. That doesn't mean you gotta do that, dog. It doesn't mean, you should be still, co-parenting doesn't mean the mom stays with the kid 5 days a week, especially a boy. Like, nigga.
No, you're right.
Put the trap shit down and let's get to what really matters here, man.
Yeah, for real.
Like, get to them. Bring them out to the meat trees for some ice cream or some shit. And you get to know them. Get to understand them. Like, bring them to a soccer club, painting, the museum. Bring them out.
Bring them out.
So they don't always see the mother, because let's be real, a lot of these females now, they're going through shit. They're struggling nigga hard. They're going through shit. Life is hard. On road right now, groceries, a whole bunch of shit's hard.
You're right, bro.
Some niggas that glorify the trap shit over that. And a girl, some of these girls, they just working hard. They don't trap. They don't trap. They don't even know how to trap. So they're little 9 to 5 money they're getting.
Yeah, I can't even balance out.
Them with that either.
Yeah, I can't even balance out, bro.
So it's like, us as black men, dog, we need to start stepping up to the plate, G. Or fuck, if niggas is trying to stick and move, then do that shit. They get neutered or some shit.
Get neutered for real, because they're messing up the whole program.
Exactly. That don't mean I'm not dissing the man, and don't get it twisted. I'm not, because there's a lot of good homies, good brothers out there that take care of theirs.
No, for sure. But it's the ones that don't we're talking about.
Whack ones.
Yeah.
Than real ones.
Yeah, and that's a fact. And that's a fact.
I'm gonna speak high with my chest. I don't give a fuck what nobody says, because ain't no nigga can come pull that card on me. Because my son's mom would never pull that on me. She can't even pull that card. She can't say from where this guy's been all this time. He's been what? Nigga, gotta hold that shit down. So you can't pull that with me. So I'm gonna speak firm with that. And I'm where I'm at. There's niggas that's not really even doing half of this shit I be doing.
It's true.
Like, I'm being honest with you. I came to prison and found out my son's autistic. I didn't even know that. I started reading books on that shit. I didn't even know what the fuck I didn't even know. I'm like, whoa, what the fuck? I'm like, holy, that shit burns me, because I'm like, I can't even be there and learn him now. Now that he has a certain condition and shit, like, I can't even be there and be like, yo, it took years out of me.
Yeah.
I gotta rebuild back with him.
Yeah, it's hard, man.
It's way harder because of his condition. You feel what I'm saying?
It's hard, bro. It's hard. But at least you didn't just give up on him, and you found ways to help deal with it, because a lot of people give up. And like, I know we're gone long right now in the interview. I know you said you want to be gone at 9:15, but
no, we cut. These niggas went outside because we were supposed to go work out, but they done called the yard, fam.
No, it's blessed.
Like, cut the interview or like do the interview, because at the end of the day, it's like, yo, gee, tomorrow's another day. If I ain't, I'll just bang out some push-ups.
Yeah.
That's it's called sacrificing, fam.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
no, I super appreciate you.
Is the message important, or is the one that could work out more important? Nigga, I'll bang out some push-ups.
No, I super appreciate you for that, brother, because you literally went over like 30 minutes extra. You gave me 30 minutes extra, bro. So like, I really appreciate you for that. You know what I mean?
I don't say a word, Charlie, dog. You don't know each one teach one, and that's what we're supposed to. We're supposed to stand firm no matter what, dog.
Exactly.
Everything's a test. That's why I look at it like I said, fam. It goes. That's the test, yo. You're gonna cut this and go to the yard, or you're gonna speak to the little niggas, be like, what are you gonna do? You know what I mean?
We would like to thank Daron Thompson for sharing his story with us today. For all those incarcerated, remember, freedom is a must. Free all the lifers. Shout out Private Spaceship. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and follow. at Handcuff Status on all major platforms. If you have any questions or suggestions, send it to us, and never forget our mission: breaking the chains of injustice. Thank you.